Welcome to another video session. This is Unit 3, Signal Transmission through Linear Systems. So let us understand first what are linear systems. We will look into what are linear and non-linear systems. So these are the system properties. So we have already seen what are causal and non-causal systems, what are discrete and continuous time systems. We have also seen what are memory and memoryless systems, or static and dynamic systems. So in this session, we will understand linear and non-linear systems. If x1 of t is the input and y1 of t is the output, similarly, if I give x2 of t as an input, which gives me an output y2 of t, then if I give the signals, both the signals x1 of t plus x2 of t, and the system operation is shown by t of, so this is the system operation t of, that is the t operation performed on the signal x1 of t plus x2 of t, then it should give me a result or output y1 of t plus y2 of t. If it gives a result which is other than this y1 of t plus y2 of t, then it is called a non-linear system. If it gives the output which is the sum of the output y1 of t plus y2 of t, then we call the system as a linear system. In simple terms, we call this as the total response will be equal to the sum of individual responses. That is what, in simple words, we call a linear system. So this linear system obeys principle of additivity. This is called the principle of additivity and the principle of homogeneity. The principle of homogeneity says if the input is multiplied by an amount alpha, the output also will be multiplied by an amount alpha. So when we add both of this, then t of alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2 should give an output alpha 1 y1 plus alpha 2 y2. All right, so that will be the output. Now let us take some problems and understand more on this linear and non-linear systems. Again, I stress systems whose total response is equal to sum of individual responses is called a linear system. That means here, if y1 is the response because of x1 input, similarly y2 is the output or response because of the input called x2, then the total response should be equal to y1 plus y2. So y1 and y2 are individual responses. So if you call total response as y, so y should be equal to y1 plus y2. Then we call the system as a linear system. Now let us take an example here. Y of t is equal to x square of t. So we should look into what operation the system has performed. So the input to the system, let me draw here the simple system. Okay, so if I represent this as a system, okay, and I call this as a T operator. So this is the T operator which takes the input. Here I'm showing as the input and this is the output. So input is the x of t signal. This is for a continuous time signal. If you are dealing with a discrete time signal, then this will be x of n and output will be y of n. Input will be x of n, output will be y of n. Since we are dealing with a continuous time signal, we get this as x of t and y of t. Just for your understanding, I have written here. All right. So this is the system. So here x of t is the input, y of t is the output. But if you observe here, what has happened to the input? It is got squared. The input is squared. So that means the system operation, what is the system operation? It is a squaring operation. It takes the input x of t, it squares it and gives the output. So for each problem, whatever is given, you should understand what is the system doing, what is the t operation performed. All right, I hope now the t operator is clear. So x of t is the input, y of t is the output. What is t of x of t? This, if you say t of x of t, so t of x of t is nothing but squaring of x of t. All right, so now let us give first input x1 of t. If you give, let us see the solution. If I give x1 of t, it just squares the first input and gives me the output y1 of t. Similarly, if I give the second input x2 of t, it squares the second input and gives me the output y2 of t. Now, if I give both the signals x1 of t and x2 plus x2 of t, so that is what is the additivity property, right? Here, this is additivity property. This is homogeneity. We are simply checking for the additivity property here. So it should, when we say a system is linear, it should be both additive as well as homogeneity. Both properties should hold good. So this additive property is also called as superposition theorem or superposition property. Okay. Now, if I give x1 plus x2 of t, it will take both of this and square it. And you know the result of this, x1 plus x2 whole square will be equal to x1 square plus x2 square plus 2 times x1 into x2. So therefore, this 2 times x1 plus 2 times x1 into x2 will be an extra term which will not be present in the previous outputs, right? Because y1 gave me only x1 square of t, whereas y2 of t gave x2 square of t. But this is extra term to x1, x2 of t. So therefore, it is not equal to y1 plus y2. So therefore, the total response y of t is not equal to the individual response y1 of t plus y2 of t, because you have this extra term 2 times x1 of t plus 2 times x1 of t into x2 of t. So since this is an extra term, we don't have the exact output. Therefore, we say that the system is non-linear. It does not hear itself. It is not obeying the principle of superposition. Why it is not linear? Because it is not obeying the principle of superposition. Therefore, the system is not a linear system. Okay, let us take another example. Okay, y of t is y of t 2 times y of t plus 3 is equal to x of t. As I said, x of t is the input, y of t is the output. What operation has been performed here? Let us reframe that. So y of t is equal to x of t minus 3 by 2. So what the system does is it takes x of t signal and subtracts 3 by 2 from it. That is what is the t operator doing for x of t. All right. Now let us check the individual output, the individual response and the total response. So first, when I give x1 of t, so y1 of t will be equal to t of a1 x1 of t. Okay, a is a scaling factor. So we are applying the complete linearity property. That means both the scale, the homogeneity as well as the superposition. So first we are checking for the homogeneity. If I am giving a1 x1 of t as the input, the system gives an output a1 x1 of t minus 3 by 2. All right. Similarly, if I give a2 x2 of t as the input to the system, the t operator, what it has to do, it has to take whatever you have given as input, it has to subtract minus 3 by 2 or subtract 3 by 2 from it. So this is what it was doing. Now when you add y1 plus y2, what you get is a1 x1 of t plus a2 x2 of t minus 2 times of 3 by 2 you will get. That is what is the output you have to get. But let us see what we get when we give a1 x1 of t plus a2 x2 of t. So I'm giving the total input, which is the sum of the individual inputs. I'm giving it to the operator t. Now what is the output? a1 x1 of t plus a2 x2 of t minus 3 by 2 alone. Whereas previously when I added individual output, I got the sum of the individual output as minus 2 times 3 by 2. But here it is only 1 time 3 by 2. So therefore, it is not term to term the same. Therefore, we say that the system is not a linear system again. So this is not a linear system. Why? So here y of t represents the total response, and y1 of t and y2 of t represent the individual responses. Individual response because of one individual input. All right. So the total response is not equal to sum of the individual responses. Therefore, the system is not a linear system. Okay, let us take another example. This x of t is the input, y of t is the output. But what has happened to x of t? The t operator, the system operator, what did it do? It took x of t, converted into tau variable, is integrating between the limit minus infinity to t. All right. Okay, now let us check for linearity. First, if I give a1 x1 of t as an input to this system, the t operator will take a1 x1 and convert it into tau. The t variable, it will convert into tau, multiply by d tau, and integrate between minus infinity to t. Next, if I give the second input a2 x2 of t, then what will be the output? Integral minus infinity to t a2 x2 of tau d tau. Now if I give a1 x1 of t plus a2 x2 of t, what does the t operator will do? It will integrate minus infinity to plus infinity a1 x1 of tau plus a2 x2 of tau d tau, which is equal to y1 of t plus y2 of t. So in this case, the total response y of t is equal to the sum of the individual responses y1 of t plus y2 of t. So therefore, we say that this system is a linear system. So an integrator works as a linear system. Okay, let us take another example. Here it is a differentiation operation. Differentiation operation. And there are extra terms. So what is the system doing here? Y of t is the output, x of t is the input. So here it is taking the input and multiplying with the differential of the input, and plus it is adding the 3 times y of t and all these terms it is doing. So this is your system that is doing. Next, let us check. If I give a1 x1 of t, then what will be y1 of t? So d by dt of y1 of t plus 3 times y1 of t will be equal to a1 x1 of t d by dt of a1 x1 of t. So this is the result for the first input x1 of t. Similarly, when I give the second input d by dt y2 of t plus 3 times y2 of t is equal to a2 x2 of t d by dt of a2 x2 of t. So I'm giving the second input, I've got the second output. Now if I give both the input simultaneously, input 1 and input 2. So d by dt, so I'm going to call that as a total response y of t. So d by dt of y of t plus 3 y of t is equal to a1 x1 of t plus a2 x2 of t. This has to be multiplied with d by dt of a1 x1 of t plus a2 x2 of t. Now, when you multiply these two terms, how many terms do we get? We get 4 terms. A1 square x1 of t into d by dt of x1 of t plus a2 x2 of t into d by dt of a1 x1 of t. Then we have a1 x1 of t into a2 into d by dt of x2 of t plus a2 square x2 of t into d by dt of x2 of t. So we get 4 terms. But what is the individual output we got? We got only 2 terms. So therefore, this is not same as, that is, the total response is not the same as the individual responses. So therefore, this system is not a linear system. All right, because of all these extra terms, the system is not a linear system. All right, let us look at another problem. Now, so far we've been dealing with the continuous time signals. Now, let us also discuss the discrete time signals. If y of n is equal to x of n plus x of n minus 1. So what is the t operator here? It is taking the input x. Now, in this case, the system operator t is a discrete time system, and x of n is the input and y of n is the output. So it is taking x of n signal. To that, it is adding the delayed version of x of n by 1 time unit. It is delaying x of n by 1 time unit and obtaining x of n minus 1, and it is getting added. So that is what is the system doing. So we have seen this is the operation of the system t operator. Okay, now let us see what is the solution. If I give x1 of n, a1 x1 of n, then what will be the first output? Y1 of n, because of the input a1 x1 of n will be equal to a1 x1 of n plus a1 x1 of n minus 1. Now, if I give the second input a2 x2 of n, the second output will be y2 of n, which will be equal to a2 x2 of n plus a2 x2 of n minus 1. Now, if I give both the inputs simultaneously, that is a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n, if I give simultaneously, I should get the output y of n. Let me see what is the output. Y of n is equal to a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n. So that will be this, not that is the signal as it is. And what will be the delayed version? a1 x1 of n minus 1 plus a2 x2 of n minus 1. Now, the total response is equal to the sum of individual responses. So therefore, we see that the system satisfies the principle of homogeneity and the principle of superposition. Therefore, the system is linear. So we have taken here the principle of homogeneity is by multiplication, and the principle of superposition is by adding these two simultaneously, right? So it obeys both the principles of additivity and homogeneity. So therefore, the system is a linear system. So we say that it is not a linear even if it does not satisfy one of the property. That means if it upholds the additivity property, and if it fails the homogeneity property, it is still not linear. If it upholds the multiplicative property and fails in the additive property, then also it is not a linear system. It should what do you call, it should pass, or it should prove both the properties. Only then it should satisfy both the properties. Only then we say that the system is linear. Let us look into another problem. Okay. Because in this second unit, we have to look into the signal transmission through linear systems. So we know a system. What is a system? It will take an input, perform some operation on the input and give us an output. So that is a system. Now we are looking at a linear system. So before we go into what are linear systems and solve and understand how the signal is transmitted through the linear system, we are trying to understand the concept of the linear system. What do we mean by linear system? Actually, this unit deals with linear time invariant systems. So after this session, we will look into the time invariance property of the system. Okay. Now let us come back to this problem here. Y of n equals x of n divided by x of n minus 1. So here what has happened? Output is y of n. What is the t operator doing? It is taking the input signal, dividing it by the delayed version of the input signal by one time unit, x of n minus 1. Now let us check for the linearity property. Let us do the solution. So when I give the first signal a1 x1 of n, what is the first output? y1 of n is equal to a1 x1 of n divided by a1 x1 of n minus 1. All right. When I give the second input a2 x2 of n, what will be the second output? y2 of n will be equal to a2 x2 of n divided by a2 x2 of n minus 1. So this will be the second output. Now if I give the total signal, I've given individual signals. Now I'm going to give total signal, that is a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n. Those are the two signals I've given. So therefore, if I give both the signals at the same time and I find the total response y of n is equal to t of a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n, that will be equal to a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n, this whole thing divided by a1 x1 of n minus 1 plus a2 x2 of n minus 1. And you know that this will be different. So if you split this, this will be a1 x1 of n divided by a1 x1 of n minus 1 plus a2 x2 of n minus 1 plus a2 x2 of n by a1 x1 of n minus 1 plus a2 x2 of n minus 1. So the denominators will not be the same in the y1 of in the y of n and y1 of n, y2 of n. So the denominators will be different. So therefore, the total response y of n is not equal to the sum of the individual responses y1 of n plus y2 of n. So therefore, the system is not a linear system. So I hope you are understanding and will be able to solve more problems using this concept. So you have to simply understand what is the operation being performed on the input signal. What is the t operator doing on the input signal? X of t for a continuous time signal and x of n for a discrete time signal. All right, let us look. So this, therefore, the system is not a linear system. It is a non-linear system. Let us look at one more problem. Y of n is equal to root 2 into x of n minus 1. So as we can see here, what is the system doing? What is the t operator doing? It is taking x of n, delaying it by an amount n minus 1 and multiplying that result by root 2. That is what is the t operator doing. So many operations. All right. So it need not be one operation. It can be many operations. So all that operation, we call it as t operator. That's all. So all you have to remember is x of n is the input and y of n is the output and t is the operator. Whatever you see other than your x of n. Whatever is that, extra things, whatever we see in this equation, they are all the operations performed on the input signal x of n in the discrete time domain in this example. Okay, now let us see the solution. If I give the first signal a1 x1 of n, the output will be y1 of n, which will be equal to root 2 into a1 x1 of n minus 1. If I give the second input a2 x2 of n, then the output y2 of n will be equal to root 2 times a2 into x2 of n minus 1. Now if I give both the signals, a1 x1, a1 is missing here. Okay, it is linear, so y, the total response y of n is equal to, it has to simply multiply root 2 with a1 x1 of n minus 1 plus a2 x2 of n minus 1. Okay, so here a1 term is missing. I forgot by typing, I've missed to add that. So here is a1. So therefore the total response y of n is equal to the sum of the individual responses y1 of n plus y2 of n. So therefore the system is definitely a linear system. Okay, let us look into one last problem. Y of n equals e power x of n. So what is the operation being performed here? The input signal x of n is raised to the exponential e to the power of x of n. Okay, now let us see whether it is linear or non-linear. Any guesses? Any guesses from your side? Okay, let us check. Keep your answers, because sometimes we will just guess by your feelings. But let us see by mathematically solving them. Okay, so if I give this first signal a1 x1 of n, so output y1 of n will be equal to e to the power of a1 x1 of n. Second signal, if I give a2 x2 of n, y2 of n will be e to the power of a2 x2 of n. Now if I give the total signal a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n is e to the power of a1 x1 of n plus e2 e to the power of a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n equal to e power a1 x1 of n plus e power a2 x2 of n? Definitely not, because here this can be split into e power a1 x1 of n into e power a2 x2 of n. So here it's the product of y1 of n plus into y2 of n, whereas here we are adding. So the total response y of n should be equal to y1 of n plus y2 of n. But here it is turning out to be y of n equals y1 of n into y2 of n. So therefore the system is not linear. So as you can see from here, this is y1 of n, and e power a2 x2 of n is a y2 of n. So therefore it's a product here. So we see that the total response is not equal to the sum of individual response, but it is equal to the product of the individual responses. This system says it is linear only when it satisfies the principle of superposition. It should satisfy the additivity property. So therefore it is not satisfying the additivity property. This is not a linear system. Okay, so far we have seen what are linear and non-linear systems. In the next session, we will look at another property of the system, that is time invariance and time variant systems. Thank you.